My first Instagram username in fifth grade was Ali Stanley India. My second Instagram name in sixth grade was Ali Loves Life. Now we're at Ali DeBow, but
I,
there's been a progression.
I love that. I think I've been Weilyn.c
Oh,
through and through.
professional.
We love to
Keeping
see
that
it.
branding. I love that.
I should have gotten Weilyn though. I feel like the Weilyn account, like if I got
Oh
like
my
pure
God.
Weilyn, that would have been that
So
would have been a
good.
hot take.
That would have been a hot. When did you get your first Instagram?
Ooh, I remember when I started it actually. Um, I think I got it in eighth grade. So I was like late to the
Oh,
game. Like I was,
interesting.
yeah, like I didn't really have it before then. Um, I think it was eighth grade summer, and I was
Okay.
in
Going into eighth grade or going into
summer.
ninth grade?
Ooh, was it seventh grade? Maybe it was seventh grade summer.
Mm-hmm.
It was whenever I was in the US, like touring
Mm.
history, National History Bowl, all
Oh
of
my
that fun
God.
jazz.
Love it.
Um, and I think, okay, wait, actually, I don't remember. I remember we were in the US at some point, and that's when I got it. And I remember we were at like a summer camp.
Okay.
So maybe it was eighth grade. I think we were at we were in some college summer camp thing. And I remember sitting in a sushi restaurant
Ooh.
talking to my mom. And I was like, Mom, can I please get Instagram? Like all my friends have it. Like I really want to have it and like stay
Yeah.
connected to people and all of that fun jazz. Um, and she looked at me and she's like, Do you really need social media? Like, are you going to be responsible? And we had a big
Ooh.
conversation about it. Then I got my first Instagram. What about
Oh my
you?
God. I think for the social media, I think my parent, I don't remember having a specific conversation with my parents about social media, but when I got my first phone, I was 10 years old. My dad wrote out a code of conduct and I had to sign it. Like
What
there
was the
was
code?
rules, like you can't plug it in your room if you're like not using it. Like I decided oh my goodness, my parent, people ask me like why I'm so intense, like love my dad so much, but like honestly, definitely the whatever lawyer and accountant in front of him shows out. Like I am so like anal about like
Yeah.
accounting and like making sure like everything's like clear and like everything's like official because like as like a 7-year-old he's like okay so you're going to Stanley so it's going to be $25, $5 for the bus, $10 for gum, blah 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 blah. And then yeah, for this stuff. First social
Oh my
media
goodness.
posts on Instagram. I'm imagining, not even imagining, I know this is true. I was sitting in my room. First of all, whatever post definitely had like 9 filters on the original Instagram. Like
Oh
that's not even a
yeah.
question. I think some
Mm-hmm.
classics were posts of EOS lip balms, posts of Bath and Body Works hand sanitizers. That was a classic.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I
Absolutely.
remember that era.
Yeah, dude, COVID would have been so good for Bath and Body Works hand sanitizers. Like
I
that was
think
like
it was
as it
because
should
you
be.
remember like in middle school, people would collect the hand
Yeah, that
sanitizers
was
as like a
me.
big thing.
That was me. I was like, it's a
Like pop
collector.
off during the
Yes, man.
pandemic, those were used.
True, but also they like went so bad so quickly. Like
Oh,
you don't know what
100%.
was in those. Those were not like the Purells. Like there was weird stuff in there. So I think I threw mine all away because like it became like water. But yeah, that must have been great. Great for business for them. Bath and Body
What
Works.
was your favorite
Yeah.
trend back
On
then?
Instagram, I'm trying to
Hmm.
think of like different trends. Like I remember, I don't know why this one comes to mind first, but the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I remember that one,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
That was a good one. I think this was before my time. Like I remember this my cousin doing, and I was like, that's so cool. But like there was a thing called the plank challenge where people would be around the world and do a plank. I think the
Oh,
challenges were like
interesting.
are so uniform that can be done anywhere, the coolest ones. Cause it's like I'm
Yeah.
here, I'm there, and like you know what I mean? It's not like you have to be somewhere. It's like something as simple as a plank, anyone can do it. And people were doing
Mhm.
it in, like on the pyramids in Paris and the Great Wall. And like I think that's such a cool challenge. So if I were to create a viral challenge, it would definitely be something around that. What about you? What would be like the Wayland viral
Ooh,
challenge?
Wayland viral challenge. 100% something gratitude related. Get the whole
I'm not
world on
surprised. 100%.
that.
That would be so,
That'd be
wait, that
so
would be
cool.
so good. Why don't we
Yeah,
start that? Go up to
we
someone
should.
you've,
Oh, yeah.
why not?
Ooh,
Why? For
1 minute
Thanksgiving?
videos. What is
It's
something that you love
Thanksgiving.
about yourself? Or Thanksgiving? That'd be a really cool
Thanksgiving's in
video.
2 weeks. Why don't we do that? Okay,
That'd be
that just
cool.
happened now.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that after.
Oh my goodness. Yes. It's always on kind of all good. We get our best
Always.
ideas, I swear.
No, it's always the
Vlogmas,
brainstorming. Vlogmas.
kind of
Oh
all
my
good
God.
Vlogmas.
Yeah,
So
we have to go
excited.
back to that. No, honestly, we got to take that. I'm excited. Hanukkah is very
Oh
early this
yeah.
year, which I'm excited about.
Hmm.
I'm not excited about the fact that I'm just like celebrating with my family and things like that, because it's always more fun to be with your family when, you know, it's a holiday with gifts. However, it's fine. Things can be delayed, but it's exciting because it'll be
Wait,
here.
when is
It's always a
Hanukkah
fun
this
one.
year?
Hanukkah starts, I believe, on the 28th. So it's in 2 weeks. Or
Oh
not, wait,
wow,
16
okay.
days. Yeah. So looking forward to that. I got school this Sunday. I talked to you about because we don't have school on Thanksgiving. So we have to make it the day, which is very not exciting. But today we're chilling. I was supposed to have a meeting early this morning to go out to Pushi, which is like far, and then I was going to stay there all day because I have a dinner there. And I was like, I don't really want to stay there for like 9 hours. It's not worth it to like come back and go again. So now I can like take my day as I please. So I feel very happy. Like there's nothing better
I
than
love
having
that.
control of your time in the day, like not being a bitch to someone else's
100%.
calendar.
Yeah. Or a bitch to your own calendar.
True. Ooh, tell me more
Yeah,
about
that's a big
that.
one.
Tell me.
Like just this idea of like being so like like chained to your calendar and like
Yeah.
I remember a big pivot point was like me and a friend were talking and I was like, "Oh my goodness, like I have no time in my day." And they're like, "No, my Google Calendar is like way busier than yours." And I'm like,
Oh
"No,
my
no, no, like
God.
my Google Calendar is way busier." And I came back and I was like, am I proud of being busy all the time? Like
Yeah.
is it fun to like always
Yeah.
be in a meeting, always have a Zoom meeting, not being able to get dinner because I'm like running off to like do a podcast recording or meet someone online? And it was like, I don't want to live like that. I think like the biggest turning point for me was definitely learning about like the 888
I
thing where
love
it's like
that.
you have like 8 hours to sleep, which means you should have 8 hours of leisure and 8 hours of work. 8 hours of work is a long time.
It's a
And 8 hours
long,
of
long
leisure
time.
is also a long time. Like I feel like breaking it up and thinking about it like that let me be a little kinder on myself, which was nice.
I like that.
Let me let me have
I'll
some time for social media.
Yeah, honestly. The leisure time as well. Like I have this whole idea of people who like kind of multitask and like half work and half watch TV or half do shit. Like you're not happy because you feel like you're not being productive and getting the work done. But you also don't feel happy because you don't feel like you can just like shamelessly completely indulge in like watching that show or whatever. Like you're kind of stuck in between and that's not fair to like your leisure side or your work side. So I think having like dedicated 100%, I'm just gonna completely leisure makes you so much more productive. Like yesterday, for example,
100%.
I was gonna like work and like eat at the same time, and I was like, no, like I have like 6 hours of class after this. I have like a quiz during that. I'm gonna have like just a fun 100% social lunch, and I had like an amazing fun lunch with my friends for like an hour, and I felt so like rejuvenated and like rejuvenated. I felt
Yeah.
coming to class, I'm like, I'm ready to learn. Like I feel like I just had some fun. Now it's time to work. Whereas like sometimes we're like I study before class, I'm like already burnt out before I go to class. I'm like, come on. And then I have
Mhm.
another class afterwards. Do you ever have experiences like that?
100%. I think like you do such a good job of like realizing like, hey, this is what I need right now and like doing it. I think oftentimes I get stuck in the second pile of people where I'm like, oh, I can like work now and like do work while I eat or like do this
Mm-hmm.
while I do this. And like I get stuck in a place where leisure is never really leisure for me. Which is something that I'm definitely working on and working to be better on. I used to be so good at it too, which is like a whole other thing about comparing yourself to like previous versions of
Oh
yourself.
yeah. Wait, may
But
I ask like the high school
yeah,
sleep, Waylon? Can I just pop into that a little
oh,
bit? Give someone some
yeah.
context.
So like high school, my parents were like, oh, not really my parents, but we were on like a pretty strict bedtime. We would like sleep at 10 p.m. like every single night. And if it was like 11, that was like a big night for me. And I would always get all my work done. And I would always tell people like it's better to get my work done now. And then like I would just do everything like they're done and then like be able to spend time with family or whatever. Um, and now I kind of like it's so weird. Like I'm kind of in like in the middle ground where I'm like, yeah, I have dedicated work time, but it doesn't like feel like enough. So then it's like, where do I subtract leisure time? I don't know. Weird timings. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it has to do with being it with family as well. So for what like something I've started on Saturdays, like for Friday nights, every single week growing up, I'd always have Shabbat dinner. Like I wouldn't work at all. Like I would just like spend
Yeah.
time with my family or friends, whatever that may be. Saturday morning was always pretty chill as well. Like coming here in the last couple of weeks, like I haven't gone to Shabbat. I'm actually going tonight, but I really let the lines blur between like work and that, and like that's made me upset. So something I started to do now is like, okay, if I was living a normal life, like if I had like some sort of family or very, very close
Mhm.
friends that are basically family around us, Saturday morning, chances are I would not be working. Sunday
Yeah.
morning, I do work, but like Saturdays has always been something to chill, at least until noon. So I know I'd like probably wake up later, have some brunch, relax, maybe go on a run. So something I've started like I've been doing it now for like pretty much the whole time in Anime Shanghai since like I kind of dropped it, was like until noon I don't check my phone on Saturdays. And I don't mean
Mhm.
like don't check my phone like I'm kind of on my phone sometimes. If I want to do that crossword, I'm such a baddie, I'll do it. But I mean, like, no one will get a response from me at all. Like, do not respect and expect a response from me. That is my time to lay in bed, watch some YouTube, go on a run, have some oatmeal, literally just veg out, and like whatever happens. I don't care if I have like the biggest fucking project in the world to do. Like, that time is my time no matter what. And like for my own like neshama, my own soul, I need that. And like
Mhm.
that will help me be more productive after, because I knew that I had so much time to just completely relax. I don't know,
I
that's just my
love
take
that.
on that. Do you have any,
Yeah.
I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's something I need to start doing. I need to like commit to doing it. Like in my head, like I'm like, oh, okay, like 4 hours in the morning, like 8 to 12, like I can do that. I can take that time for myself. But whenever it rolls around to Saturday, it's so hard to take that time and be like, oh, especially because I know both you and I are like such morning people that I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, like I have to have a productive morning.
Yeah,
Otherwise, the rest of my day goes to waste. And it's like
absolutely.
getting out of that mentality of like, oh, like if I'm not like peak productivity at like 7 to 12 p.m., then
Yeah,
like it's going to be the worst day ever. And like I need to get out of my head about like work can be good from like 1 to 3 p.m.
it's
or like
true.
work can be good from 5 to 7 p.m. Um, so that's kind of where my headspace is at in terms of productivity and all of that.
No, yeah, I think that's a good thing too. I was also listening to this podcast recently. I'll link it below, but it was a podcast about like how to become wealthy, but it wasn't
Mm,
talking about like investments and that sort of thing. It was talking from like a point of wealth from like your mindset. Like
yeah.
there was one anecdote I remember where it was like people talk about like saving money and like don't buy that Starbucks, don't buy that because that you got to save money. But it was like that doesn't make you feel wealthy. Of course, financially, like okay, yeah, it's to save money. Don't buy that extra Starbucks, make it at home. But like it doesn't make you feel wealthy, that it's like I can't afford that, I can't buy that, it's not on my budget. Like that doesn't give you the feeling of being
Yeah.
wealthy. That same sense with being time as well. Like the most wealthy people in the world are in complete control of their time. They're like, no, I don't want to do that. Like you're on my schedule. So this idea of being like a slave to your calendar does not make you feel wealthy. Like you feel like a ball on the chain, which was a really
Mm-hmm.
great opportunity for me too. So I was thinking like, I want this idea of like feeling wealthy. Wealthy, I don't just mean like money. I feel like wealthy of my time, wealthy of my resources, wealthy of my family and friends,
I
that I
love
am
that.
so wealthy. I have the excess resources that on Saturday mornings I can completely relax, because I'm not racing something. Like I don't have to run to my 4 part-time jobs to pay for just a breakfast. Like I am wealthy in my mind enough that I know I'm able and can gift myself this relaxing after working already super productively at a super high level during the week. That's
Mhm.
a thought. What are your
I
thoughts on
love
that?
that. I think like yes to everything that you just said. Like this idea of being wealthy and measuring your self-worth almost by this
It's not about
new
money. It's like a
definition.
mental thing. Yeah.
Exactly. What it reminds me of, I had a really awesome conversation with someone and they were telling me how like you're in the startup space. You know all about startups, you know all about entrepreneurship. Like think of yourself as a startup. Like if
Mm.
you start thinking about yourself as a startup, like you need to think, okay, what fuels you, right? Because like for any other project that you're a part of, like if you as a startup is not working at its full capacity because you're not loving yourself, because you're not putting the time to grow yourself, then like all of your other projects are going to be subpar, right? And something about that really clicked for me because it's really easy to think of like school is a project, this is a project, podcasting is a project. But oftentimes like we drop the ball on us because it's something that we like don't prioritize as a main project. But in
Exactly.
fact, it should be like the most
The most
important thing,
important
right?
project.
So
Yeah.
definitely trying to like incorporate that advice into my own life and like
Yeah.
see how I can like what makes me run is definitely like a question I ask myself now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like what gets you excited, or like what fuels you? Or
Yeah, what feels like what's going to move the needle forward, right? Like
I
what's
like
going to
that.
push push the Weilyn incorporation forward.
The Weilyn incorporation.
I love
That's a
it.
good one. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think something we talked about this earlier this week. We had a guest on who mentioned this as well, but I just want to reiterate it here. The importance of like networking has always been something we've talked about, but like warm introductions and tapping into those warm introductions, ridiculous. Even yesterday again, like everyone who's listening, like if you know someone who knows someone, like ask for an introduction. Like that's way more likely to get you that conversation, that internship, that opportunity share, that meetup than like cold call. Like cold call does work sometimes, and like we've had experience, but like if you know someone who knows someone, like you are leaps and bounds better. Like I, even with recommendation letters too, like think about this. Like let's say you love Yelp or Dim King or whatever restaurant review, and you see this restaurant, you love Italian food, and it's like shit review, 0 star, terrible, terrible, terrible. But then your friend who you really trust their opinion is like, no, it's the best I've ever gone to. You're gonna go there because you trust like that personal like connection more than you do like whatever platform that is. So I thought that was just like an interesting idea about recommendations
100%.
and those personal connections.
Yeah, something I've been thinking a lot about is how we can make networking a more equitable process. And like that's definitely something that's been on my mind a lot, especially with like recruitment coming up and like, the search for internships. And what I realized is like, and this is going to sound a little like weird coming from someone, I guess, from like a good school and like all of like the balls seem to be in my court. But I realized like people want to connect about real things. And as long as you're willing to have those conversations, like you can really build your network, and it's like changing that mindset around it. That is not to say like there is a lot of barriers between like networking and all of that, but I think like it's definitely something to like have a positive and like growth mindset around, and like it's definitely something that will help you as well.
Like at the end of the day, like each person who's in a company, like companies are made up of people, like they're not these robots, not just yet, but like these CEOs, like they're these CEOs, these chief executives, these founders, they go home at the end of the day to a family. They sit, they have dinner, they talk about shit, they watch Netflix, they go out, they have fun. Like they're not robots. They're real people with lives and personal experiences and as many emotions as you and I. And just being able to appreciate almost like the human aspects of everyone is such a game changer.
Yeah. It always brings me back to the conversation we had with Sophie Barron from the Conversationalist. Yeah, and she always brings up this example of how like one of her favorite mentors, she like reached out because like they love brie cheese or something like that. And and she was like, oh my goodness, like will you oh no, she loves burrata cheese. And they were like, instead of emailing her asking for help, she was like, can we go get burrata together? I love that. Like I think that's like whenever I reach out to someone, I'm like, how it's a little hard. Like personal, nobody's gonna write like I love burrata on my LinkedIn, but like do enough digging, like you can find out about people and you can learn about someone's story, and that's really cool.
Something else she's did that I've started doing as well, she asks each person she meets for their birthdays, and like it's that personal touch, like randomly. You don't have to talk to someone every day, you don't have to talk to someone every month, week, whatever, but like every year getting a message from someone, like it means something. Like getting a birthday message, hey, I'm thinking of you. The hey, I'm thinking of you messages are so freaking underrated. Like even beyond birthdays, like sometimes like I'll message someone, they'll message me like, hey, like what's going on, how are you doing? Like those random messages, just like wow, like someone's thinking about me. Like that feels so freaking good.
Yeah, can we dive into that? Like these random messages.
Yes.
Like if you have something nice to say to someone, just say it. Like it costs you nothing, but sometimes it truly makes someone's day. Like I know acts of appreciation. There was like a Halloween party a couple like weekends ago, and I was like feeling really bloated, like I was on my period and like all of that, and like I was having a good time with my friends, but like we took photos and I was like, I don't look so great in these photos.
That was me
like,
on Halloween too, by the way. Like I felt like shit on Halloween.
Oh, like, you know, just like, I don't know, like low of lows. And I was standing waiting for my friend for the bathroom, and this girl comes up to me and she's like dressed really cute. She like looks at me and she's like, you look gorgeous tonight. Like you look so good. And I stood there, I was like thank you. Like I really needed to hear that. Like sometimes you just need to like a little confidence boost. Never hurt. And it just like made me smile.
Absolutely. When I was I think going into my senior year, I did an internship in Zurich and at a hedge fund, and the boss, he did this thing that I've kept with and has been like the most transformational thing for me. and that every single Sunday he writes 3 handwritten thank you notes to people. And like he sends them around the world. And I started doing that. And like it has been the most life-changing thing. Like I do it every Sunday, I write handwritten thank you notes. And the handwritten part, like no one gets the notes, and two, like someone's so random. Like sometimes it's from like, oh, like thanks for lunch on Thursday or whatever that be, but sometimes it's like someone completely random, like thank you for like, like one of the roads I did was so funny. I went to a day camp in Canada called Camp Robin Hood from like ages like I want to say 6 to 9. I wrote to the camp saying like thank you for fun summers in like the early 2000s, and they wrote me back an email. And, like I haven't spoken to them in like 12 years, and that was like funny and random too. Unfortunately, right now the actual mailing is difficult because it's difficult to do it from China. But like I continue to do these Sunday notes, and like I write everyone's down. But those notes, my goodness, like even the American Club one, next time you go to the American Club, they have my note like pasted on the board outside of Thai. It's like I write it, and there's something so awesome about the randomness as well. Like getting randomly appreciated, like is the coolest thing. Even getting a random email, like I think we all put out so much in the universe, but something you and I kind of realized this week too, like sometimes you just sit and something just gets handed to you. Not handed to you, things just like plop in your lap. And like that's the same with appreciation too. Opportunities, appreciation, things just happen.
100%. I think like one of the nicest, and I'll like never forget this. I came from like the high school I went to. I didn't really feel like I made a lot of like awesome friends who were going to be like lifetime friends. Like I have a couple who like I still keep in touch with, but not like a group of people that I was like, yes, these are like my ride or dies. And I remember coming to college and like my first midterm was like about to happen. And I was like really stressed in my room, like studying for it. And like 3 of my closest friends like come knocking on my door, and like they like hand me this like little gift bag of like all of my favorite snacks. And like on each one, like I at the beginning of like every day I like wrote like I write post-it notes for like one of my friends, and I like slide it under her door because we live really close to each other. And so I would do it just to like brighten her day. And so on each of the snacks, they like wrote a little post-it note with like a funny quote or like something to like keep me motivated. And I literally kid you not, like I cried. I was like, this is
God.
like the nicest thing like anyone has done for me in like such a long time. Just like out of like just feeling loved is something so like special, and it makes you want to give more, right?
Yeah.
um
I'm
yeah.
actually going to share a story that I've shared a couple times now, but I think like this shows exactly how and why you receive this stuff, because you put it out to the universe. Like the third day of high school for me. Well, the first and second day were not great, but the third day was not so great either. And I think I mentioned that to you in senior year. Not yes, first semester senior year. I told you over the week or on Friday maybe, like I didn't have a good first couple of days. Over the weekend I come to school on Monday, and again, for context, everyone here, like even I met Grace this week, and she's like, wait, you and Weilyn like weren't friends in high school? I thought you guys were like best friends. We're like, no, like we weren't like at all. Yeah, so context, Weilyn and I were not close in high school, but Weilyn still is just like the soul. We felt like there was something there. The universe was telling us something. Weilyn comes to school with the most beautiful pink roses and gorgeous handwritten note. And I remember getting it, sitting down in the library afterwards, because like I didn't have anyone to sit with at lunch. Like I sat in the library and I took a photo. I was like, holy shit, like this is an angel. This is an angel. Like how
Oh,
appreciative. Like I could not
Allie.
believe it. I came home and I told my parents, and like everyone was like, oh my gosh. And like those random acts of appreciation. It's because it's like we weren't even friends. Like you just put so much love in the world, like the thoughtfulness, like I couldn't grasp it. And that's something too, going back to like friends, just to touch on that a little bit. I don't want to go into too
Yeah.
much of it. It's like, how do you know a good friend's a good friend? How do you know a bad friend's a bad friend? Like, my
Mhm.
God, if these friends that I had couldn't even do this, and like someone who I like didn't know that well at all was doing this, I'm like, wow, my bar is not high at all.
Oh,
um
Allie.
so yeah, I just, again, I can never ever ever thank you. Like I
Yeah.
can't even tell you how wonderful that was to me. And yeah, let that go out. Like show random acts of kindness. It really does.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but in middle school there was a club at school called Random Acts of
Random.
Kindness.
I
I think it's
love
so
that.
sweet.
It was such a, yeah, it's so
That
sweet.
would be such a good college club. Imagine.
Mm. I used to think like, oh, I think we have one here. I'm not
Really?
sure.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's cute. I don't know. I haven't really stayed in touch with anyone on the club, but I think we have one. Something I want to touch on is like you like there was something so special like about our relationship in high school, because you were the reason I started like taking care of my body, which is like so like odd to think about, but like especially like I don't know, like senior year or even before that, like you used to like take me on runs and like take me to go work out, and that was like something I really needed. And I don't think I've ever told you this, but like you were the reason like I started like trying to be healthier and like being like, okay, I don't need to like beat a mile time, I don't need to like run my fastest run this time, like I'm doing this because it's good for me and like because I want to like build a stronger body. um and I don't think I've ever told you this, but like you're the reason like why I like started incorporating health into my lifestyle, which is awesome.
Oh my god, Waylon. I
Yeah,
feel like we're giving confessionals right now.
I know.
These are like
I know.
compliment confessionals. I love that. That
Yeah,
compliment confessionals. That is
I
such a good
love that.
series. That's
That
like a
is a good,
Jubilee series or something.
yeah, it has to be.
That's so Waylon. That really means a lot to me. Thank you.
I know. Yeah. Nike
Yeah.
training app.
Oh
You
my
got me
god.
on that.
I want to get sponsored. I still use them. I use them like every like they're so good.
Yeah.
They're
Like
so
whenever
so
my
so
friend
good.
is like, I want to like get stronger in the gym and things, I'm like, try Nike training app. Like they
It's so
have like,
easy.
yeah, it's so
Oh my
easy.
god. I need to show you the funniest photo. I'm gonna show it for the screen and I'll upload it. So you know how people are like, I'm at the gym. I'm not even joking. When people are at the gym, this is what I think of. And then this is what I saw yesterday at the gym at NYU. I don't three people, they're all just sitting on their phones on like the benches. Like that's what people say. Like I'm not even joking. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. Like that's like come on, that's half people at the gym. They like kind of sit on their phones in between like breaks. And like what I like about Nike Training Club too, it's like kind of like back to back. It's just like boom, 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 get it done. Whereas like I was
Yeah.
speaking to my friend recently, he's like, I don't get it. Like I'm so unproductive at the gym. Like that's why I don't want to go to the gym. It takes me like 2.5 hours. I was like, 2.5 hours? Like, what are you doing for 2.5 hours? Like, that's such a difficult, like, you're working out for 2.5 hours. He's like, no, I work out for like 30 minutes. I was like, that's so annoying because like people then like assume like working out or especially going to the gym. That's why I like running too, because like you're working out for the whole part and then you're done. People
Yeah.
go to the gym and it's like a 2.5 hour ordeal. Like it doesn't have to be.
It
That's why
doesn't
like
have to
Nike
be this whole
exactly.
thing.
Your phone is off. Nike Training Club too. Like your phone's in use basically. That's why I
Yeah.
like it too. And they've got like good workouts. It's easy. You don't want to think. I don't want to think when I'm working out. I want it to be easy. I
Yeah.
don't want right. I don't want to have to
Especially like,
calculate numbers and
mhm,
times and reps. Like time easy. I do it for the time. Then it's done.
exactly.
Easy.
Exactly. It also is like one of my biggest fears when I first started going to the gym was like, shit, like people are gonna look at me like I don't know what I'm doing, like I don't look like I know what I'm doing. And Nike training app, like you can put your phone face down and nobody will ever know that you're like following a system. Like they'll just think you're killing that workout. And I
You
love
are. I
that.
put it down. Yeah.
Yeah. I like sometimes put it face down. I'm like, okay, like I can do this, like I can listen to it and like
Yeah.
still
It's
know what
almost
I'm
like a
doing.
podcast. It's like a coach.
Exactly. And
10
it's so
seconds
nice to
left.
know, like, yeah, 10 seconds. I love it. Um, but yeah, I think like working out is definitely something that I had to change my mindset about as well. Lots of
Mm.
changing mindsets
Tell
today.
me, what was
But
it before? What was it after? Or what is it now?
before it was like need to beat my PR every single time I go to the
Mm.
gym, need to look a certain way, very
Yeah.
driven by like I want to be skinny. I want to
Yeah.
like
There's a reason there's so
be,
many mirrors in gyms. Think about that.
yeah. And also like mile time and like swim
Mm.
test. I was like, I don't want to be like mid pack. Like I want to be like good. I
Uh,
want to be better at all of those. And those were what drove me for a really long time. And funny enough, I was never close to Caroline. Do you know Caroline Canine?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, she's like popping off right now as like
Dude,
a
yeah, she's like
fitness
blowing up on Instagram.
influencer.
Yeah.
She like does a really good job of saying like, hey, like I work out every single day and I look like this, but I also look like this. And I remember she posted once about how like her younger cousin was like, you look so strong, like I want to look strong when I'm older. And
Wow.
that,
Wait, your cousin said
yeah,
that to you?
not my cousin, Caroline's cousin, I think, said that to
Oh,
her, and she like
wow.
posted about it on Instagram. And I was like, imagine growing up and being like, I don't want to be pretty, I don't want to be like skinny, I don't want to be all of these things, like I want to be strong when I grow up. And like, oh, my heart's breaking. Like that's, I know, like that's all like I want my kids to think when they're younger, what I want to think.
Yeah, I think that's such a good
Yeah.
thing as well. Like, I wanted to be very, very skinny, but now I'm like, I just want to be strong, but not like, I just, oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know if we want to go into this too much, but
Yeah.
moral of the story is your body is so meant to be exactly what your body's meant to be. Like, trust your body.
100%.
That's my main thing. I didn't trust my body
Yeah.
for years, but like, just trust your body. Your body knows what it needs to do. If it feels
Yeah.
bad, like if it feels weak, like there's a reason like you want to get stronger. If you feel bloated, there's a reason you want to eat this. If you feel like eating that, like there's a reason you want to eat that. Like,
Mhm.
trust your body. Your body knows what it needs to do.
Yeah.
And your mind. Your mind's part of your body as well.
100%. Like I was talking, so like as part of the like crew program, we get like a nutritionist who helps us like think about food and all of that. And I remember like one of my goals was like I want to trust my body to get through the workout. Like I want to know like I've fueled myself, I've done enough. And like for that to be the prerequisite, like that's not even in the question of like whether this is a good workout or a bad workout, because I've like fueled myself and I've done that. And I told him one of my goals is just to like be stronger. Like I want to be stronger. And he looked at me, he was like, nobody has ever come into this office with a goal of like, you just want to feel strong through a workout. Like everyone's always like, I want to lean out, I want to gain muscle, I want to do this and this and this. He's like, it's so empowering, like to feel strong. And yeah, he wrote me an email after. He's like, I'm still thinking about like how you want to be empowered to like feel strong. And I was like, I feel that, like, and it's so nice to know like he's on my side with all of this. But I think a lot of people need to.
What does it feel like to you to be strong? Like what words, what emotions, what visuals come to mind when you think Weilyn is strong? Like, tell me what that means. Like, close your eyes, do a little visualization. Like, what does it mean Weilyn is strong?
Ooh, the visualization.
Yes, go. Close the eyes. Come on, no one's looking. It's audio or video if you're watching on YouTube.
I think just like being like 100% comfortable in like my body and like knowing like whatever challenging workout or challenging day, like knowing like my body is gonna get through it and it's gonna get through it strong. And that's like something so important to me. What about you? What does that look like for you?
I like that. I do like that a lot too. Something about it too is not being strong. I feel the strength coming from my heart outwards. Like that's where like I feel the strength coming out, and like I feel like it goes to my arms first and like my legs. Like I feel like I'm like pushing up almost, like every time like I like go up, like I feel strong. I feel like there's like a spring in my body. Like I want to feel like that. I've energy. A lot of the strength comes from having energy, but the same as you said, like little things don't impact me and like get me down because I'm so strong about both like mental fitness but also like physical fitness. So like if little things, I'm like, I don't completely do like a best thing with that run or whatever like that. It's not like I'm like, no, like I'm strong, like it's a consistent thing. Like, maybe okay, let me change my answer a little bit. Something about like stability. Like I trust my body. It's stability strong. It's not like it's so fickle, it's going up and down. Like I don't know if it's gonna be like this day. I don't know if I'm not gonna be like something about like almost like strong. Like I almost think of it like a family. Trust. Like a family. Yeah, like trust. Like your family's always there. You trust it. You have a strong family. You know, if shit goes down. So like, I don't know if I can talk to her today. I don't know if I can talk to my dad. I don't know if I like, you trust, like it's always there. Like shit goes down, but like that's your safe space. Like almost like that with your body. Does that make sense at all? 100%. I know I answered like 4 different ways.
I'm thinking of like I feel like for both of us, like empathy and like trusting our heart, like and like trusting that we're good people. I think for that part, it comes like pretty easy to us. Like I feel like I trust myself in like being a good friend for the most part. Like I trust myself in like being there for people. But when it comes to my body, there's like a sense of distrust and disconnect. And like, oh, I don't know whether my body will hold out for this workout. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to hold out for this workout. I think it's about like, okay, like I can do this with my heart. I can do this when I like think about my relationship with other people. Like I need to now translate that into my relationship with my own body. It's something that I need to work on, but it's all process.
Because there's something very sad, I will say. I don't want to get into it too much right now, but there's something very sad about feeling like your body's not your property or you're renting it out, and it's not something you feel connected to. There's something very, very sad about. So anything you can do to help fuse your mind and your body together, and I think they come honestly from a place of love. Like I saw this quote, I want to say like 2-3 years ago, but it was like, you can't hate your body, you can't hate yourself to get the body that you love, something like that. And I thought that was really powerful as well, right? Like you want to love yourself. You don't hate the person you love to become in a loving relationship, you love the person even more to love them more.
I
Something
love
along
that.
those lines.
That's such a good
Something
one.
along those lines.
Also, like, to kind of circle back to social media, like, so many things that I don't think I buy into like a diet culture or any of that stuff, but just so many of like the basic nutrition facts that are out there on social media, just complete bullshit. Like, I was talking to my nutritionist and he was like, we are going to debunk everything. He was like, everything you probably learned about nutrition is probably wrong. And I was like, wow, like it's the education, like, truly.
Honestly, because it's like with social media, it's wonderful that everyone has a platform, but it's terrible everyone has a platform. So anyone can say, you don't care what, you didn't go to any medical school, you didn't do any academic research, but you can say, this is the worst thing ever invented for your body, or this is the only thing to make you healthy, even though you have no credibility, you don't have to get like a thing. But yeah, even with that as well, but that's, I don't know how close you've been following like the Facebook case, but like the whistleblower like 3 weeks ago or so, one of the things she noted, in addition to how Facebook's algorithms and all that thing incited violence in 2016, all that sort of thing, it's bad for students. I mean, bad for kids, students, kids, whatever. But one of the things she noted as well, and like this was one of the top headlines, was like, it's helped promote eating disorders among young girls. That was one of the things she noted. And I was like, holy shit. And like Facebook knows this and like it's doing it and it's so true.
Big data.
Big data.
Companies.
Also Meta. What am I talking about? Facebook? It's Meta now. It was on my, oh my goodness, they're really promoting that, because on my New York Times crossword yesterday on the mini, it was like new name of Facebook. I was like, Meta, 4 letters. Ooh, rebranding. Also, when you open WhatsApp and Instagram now, it doesn't say like, you know, it used to say like powered by Facebook at the bottom. Now it says powered by Meta with like the infinity logo.
I wonder who was in that boardroom when they decided this was the name. Like, I just want to hear what happened.
The metaverse.
I know the metaverse.
Zuckerberg wants to push that. Sometimes
I'm like, how?
I know.
Why that?
Out of Meta. I think no, there's like, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and reading a lot of articles about it. One angle is like they want to rebrand. Like ever since like the 2016 election, Facebook's kind of been like, like they have a bad name. So part of this is kind of like a rebrand of new generation. You don't associate Facebook with like Facebook. It's now like Meta. Yeah. So there's a branding element of it. It's also like future business development.
100%. I also think like low key, like all of us think it's super weird that it's like named Meta. Yeah. But if you think really hard about the word Facebook, like Facebook's a really weird name too.
It is.
Like,
it is
Facebook. But the only reason we know it is because it's like used so much. So I bet in like 2 years.
Like Twitter, that's what all these, so every single startup social media name, they're not real words. And it's because of like an SEO reason, because they want them to be a real word, but they don't want anything else to be enabled like that. Like Instagram, that doesn't make sense. Twitter, Twilio, Slack, Trello, like these are not words. These are like made up like phonetic English things that you could say, but they're not real words.
Yeah, 100%.
Have you seen The Social Network?
I haven't. I don't think.
Oh, Weilyn, you would like it.
I need to watch it.
Watch it tonight.
Yeah. There's also a new Dwayne Johnson movie, and I think.
Oh my god, with Gal Gadot. That one?
Yes.
Wait, it came out. Stop. And Ryan Gosling. I'm gonna drop everything and watch it. Wait, seriously?
I think it came out today.
Stop. Okay. Weekend plans canceled.
I'm so excited. I think he's hilarious.
Like, I think he's such a smiley character. I watched him on the James Corden show yesterday. I watched his clip. Like, he is such like a stand-up guy. I don't know him personally. Wish I could say I did. Oh my goodness.
But also, our closest contact to him, when we were in high school, we had like this rock that they painted every month. And one year they painted the rock on the rock, and the rock posted it.
Wait,
and that was like the closest.
Wait,
yeah, he posted it. Do you not remember this?
No.
Yes. Wait, the rock on a rock. It was great. It was like the best thing. I have to send you a photo.
You need to. This is like huge news.
Yeah. It was like the coolest thing. He was like, oh, I wish I could come to Hong Kong, but like I look pretty great on this rock. And I was like, yeah, you do.
Oh my god. Also, just checking YouTube, Miss Remy Ashton, my merch is finally here, showing you all the pieces. Now, Weilyn, do I get you Vlogmas merch or do I get you Remy merch? This is the question.
We gotta rock it together.
We have to. The rocket. I will. Are you kidding me? I will so wear it.
Oh, the Red Notice here. When is it coming out? Release date November 5th.
November
I think
5th,
it's
it
on
already came out?
Netflix.
No way. I saw the trailer for it. I know it's like a spy thing. I
No.
think I watched the trailer twice. I'm very excited about it, actually.
Oh my goodness. Wait, no, all the reviews seem really
No,
bad.
it's not a good movie. Like, it's not going to be like a good movie. It's just like star-studded.
Yeah, it's star-studded, but also like I love like I think all of his movies are just like super funny. Like he like picks
Moana,
like good
amazing.
scripts.
Yeah.
Moana, Jungle Cruise was great. Jumanji was funny.
Wait, what's the movie? What's it called again? The Red Notice? Red Notice?
The Red Notice. The
Oh, it's
the
out. Shoot. Oh, coming
the reviewer
Friday.
was like, Red Notice is yet another poor attempt at a Netflix movie franchise. No, but I want to
Oh,
watch it. Wait, Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan
Ryan, how do you
Reynolds.
say
Yeah, he's in it. Ryan
Reynolds?
Reynolds.
I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, it's a three of them. That's
Oh,
why it's very star-studded. So they'll get a lot of press. It's good for them.
yeah, we love that.
I need to get Disney Plus. I think it's time. Like, if out of
Oh
everything,
my
like I am
goodness.
such a Disney
Yes.
fan. I love Disney and I love Marvel. Like, why
You
am I
gotta
not
do
a
it.
I gotta do it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna ask
We'll
for
do it.
Hanukkah. I love Disney. Like
Do
I'm
it.
so excited. It's
Wait,
my friend's
do you
birthday in
have
2 weeks.
VPN so that you can watch it?
I have NYU's VPN is so good. Think Weilyn. I have because I can connect to any VPN of any NYU location in the world. So I'm like, ooh, I want to be on Paris. Ooh, I want to be in Berlin. Ooh, I want to be in Accra. I want to be in Buenos Aires. Like I have the best VPN. It's so good. It's so
That's
good.
amazing.
I know. I'm really good. Yeah. Like the VPN is really, really, really good. So I'm
Dang,
VPN
we'll have to
everywhere.
see it.
Yeah. I think the whole world should use I think the whole world is basically using VPN now because of streaming. Like even if you're in the US, like if you want to watch some shows that are not in the US, like you still would want to use VPN. And like it's
Yeah,
good to
like
have
Crazy
VPN.
Rich Asians is not on Netflix here.
That's terrible. Have
I know.
when are they coming with the new one? Are
Crazy
they
Rich
coming out the new
Asians
one?
was like what?
Cultural.
Yeah,
Wait,
they're
pop
coming
off.
out
I
with a
want to hear you
second
talk
one.
about 2 minutes on the clock. Talk about Crazy Rich Asians and its impacts in society. Go.
Ooh, okay. I think first of all, great Asian representation, really put our name, put Singapore's like on the spot. Like it like really like I think it put us on the map, even though we were probably on the map before, but like definitely like got the press it needed. Two, I think we got a bad rap of just being like super rich people, and that's definitely not true. And I think like I don't know, there's a lot of like there's a lot of like social impacts I think on it, and like definitely had an impact on like the Asian community and how like people are perceived, especially as an international. And third, just a fun fact, my freshman year humanities teacher, his son works in Singapore, and when they do a pan of the city, apparently one of his apartment block is shown in the pan, and my humanities teacher saw it twice just to catch the like 3-second clip of the pan and the tiny dot that is his son's apartment. So
Oh my god,
shouting him out here, but we love to see it. It's great. And also all the actors were so great. It also just like is so great to see all of the food and like that aspect too. Like they have that one like big hawker stall scene, so whenever I get a little homesick I watch it.
It is in some ways a love letter to Singapore, which I think is quite beautiful.
It is. Yeah, I also read all the books. So
big fan.
And I wrote it on my Princeton application.
Ooh.
They like ask for your like favorite book, and everyone is like, oh my goodness, like The Great Gatsby, or like their favorite by, and I was like Crazy Rich Asians.
Literally amazing. That's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's true.
We love to see it.
It's true. The authenticity never fails. I will say, yeah, okay. Let's end on that note. In life, no matter if it's like a failure or rejection, no one, at least in my experience, I've never felt bad for being authentic. Like I always feel good at the end of the day, because I feel bad about like failing or being rejected. Like, fuck, I kind of faked that. Oh, that wasn't really true. Or like I wasn't my truest self right there. I feel some sort of like sense of like pride and like just true power, strong, whatever you want to say, going back to being strong, when I know like that was my most authentic version of myself. Like they saw me for who I was, and like you can't take that away from me.
100%. I think there's something so special being like, this is the best that I could have done, and like if they don't want it, then like it's on them. It's such a good mindset for anything, like for relationships, for friendships, for like college decisions, for those of you who are going through that, for grades, all of that, like knowing that your result is not directly impacted by like the effort you put or by how authentic you were. Like being able to detach the two is super important.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, on that note, thank you so much for listening today. We were able to touch on quite a few things. This was nice. This was like a very wholesome episode.
Yeah.
I
It was
like
kind
it.
of like mishmash of everything, but we love to
Honestly,
see
our
it.
life. Those are our conversations. What else can we expect?
Yeah.
I
I
love
like
it.
it. I liked our episode today. It was good.
Yeah, it was
Well,
fun.
yeah, for those of you who want to continue to follow our journey and follow Kind of All Good's journey, be sure to check us out on LinkedIn and on Instagram at the Entrepreneurs Network. We post every Friday at 8 a.m. EST, so be sure to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you want to continue to support us and truly do the best, kindest act for us,
Ooh,
would
I
be to
like
go on
this.
Apple Podcasts and rate and review us so we can get ranked. Yay!
And share our podcast on your social media as well. Never hurts. Actually
Yeah,
helps a
that would
lot,
be
actually.
awesome.
Or send us a
Thanks,
kind note.
guys.
Talk about random acts of kindness. If you like this episode, tell us you liked it. It really would make our day.
Send it to a friend.
Send it to a
Do
friend.
all of the above.
Do all of the
please.
above and more. Nothing else.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Bye. Have a kind of all good day.